Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving deep into one of the most challenging aspects of microfrontend architecture, shared state management. In one of my previous videos, we've built a microfrontend application with Vite module federation, and after that I got a comment under this video to show how state management works in such applications. And today we're gonna dive into that, and I will show you step by step how to implement that state management. By the end of this video, we will have mini online store application, which will be implemented with the two microfrontends with the remote and host apps. Those apps which I showed you how to implement during my previous video related to microfrontends. I enhanced them and convert them to online store, and we will use event-driven state management for this app. Let's dive in. First, let's understand why state management is so challenging in microfrontends. Unlike traditional monolithic applications where everything runs in the same JavaScript context, microfrontends are completely isolated. Each app has its own separate JavaScript context, independent memory spaces, different deployment cycles, and potentially different frameworks. Traditional solutions like Redux or React context simply don't work here because they cannot cross these boundaries. You cannot just import a store from another application. You might think about using local storage, but that is not reactive. URL parameters, too limited. API calls for every state change, too slow and complex. What we need is the way to share state real-time and reactive, framework agnostic, loosely coupled, and performant. The solution is event-driven PubSub architecture, and here is how it works. Instead of a direct communication, our microfrontends talk through a global event bus. For example, when the remote app adds a product to the cart, it emits an event. The host app listens to these events and updates its UI accordingly. This gives us a complete decoupling, technology-agnostic, scalable, and testable application. Let me show you exactly how this magic works. For this demo, I took the same project I end up with during my previous video related to microfrontends with Vite. Here you can see the same host and remote applications, just only I enhanced them a bit just to make that simple online store. And we will be working with that and implementing event-driven communication. And by the way, if you missed my previous video on microfrontends, I will advise you to take a look at it just to be in the context. Link to that video will be attached in the description to current video. As the first step, let's start with creating a shared folder where we're gonna store that event bus logic. But here is the crucial part. We're gonna create a global singleton. By the storing event bus on the window object, all microfrontends share the same instance. This is what enables cross-application communication. And this is how the heart of this implementation looks. Here we have event bus class, and then in constructor we initialize events, and then we have two crucial methods, on and emit. That will help us to create an event, and that one will help us to listen to the events. After that we have check if event bus is not created yet, we initialize one, and after that we export variable event bus where we assign in that window microfrontend event bus. And then we have this implementation. Just to make code more simple and readable, we create separately the events and we export them as well here in events object. Now we need to add functionality to create and listen to the events. In that part, we need to check whether the event name is a valid string. After that, we check if event already exists in our global events. If not, we need to create one and assign empty array to store callbacks in the future there. And here exactly we add that callback function for the array of listeners. And the last part is cleanup. Here we check if the event still has listeners, and then creating a new array excluding the specific callback that was originally registered. That removes the listeners from the event. And in emit functionality, we have the same check for valid string. Then I put some console log to see what we are actually emitting. And here we have check if event exists in events, and then we loop through the callbacks array, and here we call each callback with the data provided. In case if it doesn't work, we have that catch block, which will throw us an error. And basically that's it for the setup of event bus. Event bus is set up and ready to serve. Now we need to create functionality specifically related to this mini online store. For that I created another file, useCartStore. There is going to be implementation of global state and also useCartStore hook. That hook is going to be used in both applications just to have that interaction with the products. Here we import in that events, and also we'll need here use state, use effect, and use callback. And the first thing we need to check here if that cart state globally already initialized or not. If it is not initialized yet, we need to do that, and we need to assign empty arrays to items and listeners. After that, we create in variable global cart state, and here we assign that window Microfrontend cart state. After that, we have notify listeners helper. This is a debounce cart notification function that prevents spam when the cart updates rapidly. It first cancels any pending notifications, then sets a 10 milliseconds delay before calculating totals and notifying listeners. During the delay, it calculates total items by summing quantities, calculates total price by multiplying price times quantity for each item, creates a cart data object with a copy of items plus the totals, then safely calls all registered listeners with error handling, and finally emits a cart update event through the event bus. The 10 milliseconds debouncing ensures that if someone rapidly adds multiple items, the UI only updates once at the end rather than flickering with each individual change. After that, we check if global cart state is not yet initialized, so we do it here. First, we change flag here to global state initialized to true. And then we initialize all listeners. So here we have listeners for cart add item, here we have cart remove item, cart update quantity, cart clear, and cart request state. In each of this we have that logical operations, for example, to add item, and always in the end we call that notify listeners helper. And now let's take a look at the bottom. Here we have that hook useCartStore. And this is the hook which we're going to use in both applications to do operations with the products. So as you see here, we have add to cart, remove from cart, update quantity, clear cart. Also we have here total items value and total price. And we expose in here cart items, total items, total price is loading, add to cart, remove from cart, update quantity, and clear cart. So now let's try to integrate it to applications and then see the final result. And first, let's go to the header of host application. So here, as you see, we import that useCartStore from shared. And from that useCartStore, we use cart items, total price, remove from cart, and update quantity. So let's take a look first at this two total items and total price. We show on that cart button. So here we show total items and total price. And also here we use that cart items, we iterate through it just to show it to the user. And at the bottom, we also have that section where we show the total items, and we have here two buttons, proceed to checkout and continue shopping. In the remote app, I have all the logic in the app component just for the demo purposes. So here as well, you see that we import that useCartStore from shared, and here the first step we do is initializing some hard-coded product. From that useCartStore, we're gonna use cart items and add to cart, and here we actually use this cart items to get item quantity, and also we have this helper handle add to cart where we actually call that add to cart function, and we pass in here product we want to add. And that handle add to cart method we use on the button on each cart of the product. So pretty simple setup. That's it for the components. Now let me show you the adjustments to setup of Microfrontends. You need to go to the vite config. So here you need to add this just to have that proper imports, just to be able to import that shared functionality from that shared. And as you see here, I'm using that local shared folder. So this is just only for the local setup. But in case if you need to have that shared functionality deployed to some other place, so you can use it as a separate npm package and then install to each of Microfrontend applications. Now let's take a look at the vite config in the host application, and it's different than in remote. So also we have that shared thing here, which is actually optional. But the most important part is here. So we need to expose this event bus from shared event bus, and also this useCartStore from shared useCartStore. That's very important to make everything work. That's it for the setup. Let's take a look now at the final result in the browser. For that, let's go to remote first, and here in package.json file, let's run build. And after the build, let's run preview. Perfect. Now let's go to the host app and do the same there. Build and preview. Perfect. So now we are ready to go to browser and check. I open it along with the console just to see what we have in log. So here you can see we have pretty generic header with the cart items and total price here. And here we have some products. So let's try to add some products to the cart. Let's press this add to cart. So we see that loading state. We see one in the cart. So also we have this logs with the data we emit, and we see that cart was updated. Let's click on that. So yeah, it is here. So, and here we have this total items. Let's try to add this to add more. Here we see that state was updated. Then let's delete them. Also we see that state is updated. Let's add a few items one by one. And we see that there are 3 items in cart, all of them here. Let's delete this one, for example. Perfect. So as you see, setup is working, and just to remind that this part is our remote app and it is hosted in the host app, and header is part of the host app, and they share state between each other. And that's how you build real-time state management across microfrontends. Pretty cool, right? So how did you like this setup? Was the event-driven approach clear, or I did went too fast on some parts? I genuinely want to know. If this helped you out, please smash that like button, it helps another developers find this content. And drop a comment below what is your biggest microfrontend challenge. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.